Welcome back. We are answering your questions about voting and election 2020 with Guilford County Board of Elections Director Charlie Collicutt. Thank you so much for texting in your questions. The number right there at the bottom of your screen. So Charlie, we already have a question we want to get to. What checks and balances are in place so someone can't vote twice?
Right. That's such a good question that I'm glad you asked. So when you send in a ballot, send in your absentee ballot, or you vote early or you vote on election day, we are recording you that you voted. We don't know specifically how you voted. That'll be in that anonymous ballot, but we know that you voted. And so if you try to vote another method, there are ways. So if you've already submitted an absentee ballot, when you go to vote early or you go to vote on election day, the books or the e-poll books or the check-in official is going to know your record is already flagged that you've already voted, so you can't. If you vote in person early or election day, and then you send in a ballot really late and we receive it after the election, but it's still going to be counted on time, then it'll be the inverse when we log that ballot. When we say, oh, here's the ballot for Maddie Gardner. Oh, wait, we already have election day voter credit for Maddie. We can flag those issues and address it, not count one of those voting methods, whichever one is the appropriate one. So we do have those checks and balances in place.
Good to know. Some peace of mind there. Someone writing in, I've already received 2 applications after having sent the first request for a mail-in ballot back. What do they need to do? Should they be concerned that they are getting more applications?
No, you should not be concerned. And this is kind of a two-part thing I want to address. We are not sending out these requests or these documents for requests for ballots. These are other organizations, other civic or community organizations, nonprofits. They don't know that you've already sent one in. There is no list. It's actually not part of the public record, and I'm not allowed to give out the list of people that have asked for absentee ballots. So they don't know. They're flying blind, and so they know they want you to vote by mail. I don't know why they've chosen the target audience they have, but they have, and they don't know if you've done it or not. So they're just going to keep sending them to you. All it costs them is a stamp. So don't be concerned. If you've already sent it in once, you don't need to do it again. We were getting a lot of duplicates and triplicates, and so you don't worry about it.
Good to know. So I know that the way we are going to vote at a polling place is changing a little bit this year. Someone asked, are there still going to be voting machines? And if so, are they going to be touchscreen like they have been in the past? But Charlie, this is totally different, right?
Yeah, we moved to a brand new system for the March primary. We're not using voting machines. We're not using a touchscreen. We are using a paper ballot that the voter they'll go to a little booth and fill out a paper ballot with a pen. And like I said earlier, every voter is getting their own pen. So we're going to hand you a piece of paper ballot, hand you your pen. You're going to go mark it with a pen, and then you're going to walk over to a tabulator that you don't have to touch, and you can just insert your ballot right into it. And you'll be touching very minimal touch surfaces. And those voting booths that you went into to fill out your ballot, we'll be cleaning that after you leave or before you came in.
And someone simply writing in, how do we know our vote will count and not get thrown out?
Right. So on election day and early voting, the ballots go into the tabulator. They're anonymous. I can't pull your ballot out at that time. So those ballots are getting counted. But if the question is more about these absentee ballots, we've heard that some get disapproved and some don't. Some will get counted and some won't. So any ballot that is properly executed, has the voter's signature, has their witness signature, those ballots are counted. But if you missed that, if you didn't sign it or you didn't get a witness, and this ballot is destined not to count, it's a great question. How do you know? Well, what we're going to do is any ballots that are deficient.
Charlie, thank you so much for answering our questions this evening, and thank you for your questions. You can find all of that information and more on our website.